Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's very early, sun's not up yet, and I'm up in the Loch Ard Forest again. I basically just came out for a wander. I'm not looking for anything in particular today, just having a wander really, bit of exercise, and if we get an image or two, all the better, but if not, really just to stretch the legs. Before I start the actual walk though, I just want to show you something. I was sitting in the car having a cup of tea and just trying to decide what I was going to do today. And as the light started to increase a little bit, I noticed that creature there, just sitting, crouching in the darkness, watching me. And it was quite disconcerting for a while, so I got out and I walked over towards it. A little bit warily, as you might imagine. Only to discover that it's a bit off somebody's car bumper. This is why you shouldn't just dump things in the forest, right? It scares the shit out of half-blind photographers in the middle of the night. So don't do it. Don't do it. Who leaves a car bumper in the middle of the forest? Anyway, right. That tail over, I'm going to head down into the forest. I'm thinking I'm going to head down to Loch Ard, which is a small loch that I think I've shot from before. Well, I know I've shot from it before, but I think I've videoed from it before. Loch Ard is what the little loch of the glen, so it's just a tiny little, quite picturesque. I like it. I've shot it before in the middle of midwinter when it's actually been frozen solid. So it's a beautiful little loch. It freezes quite easily, so it's not really that cold at the moment, so I don't imagine it's frozen, but you never know. So I think we're going to have one of those days. It's currently sunrise, and with the exception of just a little bit of colour up there, there's nothing to show for it. So I don't imagine we're going to get a spectacular sunrise today, but we're out and about. I actually came to this forest about 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. It was just after we'd had a couple of pretty bad storms, and the car park was closed. And they had a sign saying that the car park was closed because there was a huge number of trees had come down in the forest. And wow, they weren't joking. Everywhere you look, there's fallen trees. Well, look at this up here. They're just snapped like twigs. That would have been terrifying. I'm glad that this tree survived. I got a nice shot of that tree, many years ago now. At night, I came down looking to see if I could do some nighttime photography in the forest, and I got a great shot of that tree with the moon behind it. This is horrendous. Look at this. These are some fairly large trees. Just snapped. Right, well, I'm sure I've said this before, but I tend not to plan my photo shoots particularly much, other than the location. That's about it, and the time of day. What I actually shoot when I get here is usually left as flexible as possible. I like to just kind of turn up and see what catches my eye. In that way you can return to the same spot time and time again and always come away with something new. And I've got to say, the thing that's caught my attention today is all these fallen trees. So I think this could well be the theme of today's shoot, is documenting the devastation that this storm caused. Yeah, I'll take a wander up to the loch anyway, but I think this is going to be a day of felled trees and devastation. So this is us coming up to the little loch. There's a little bit of colour in the sky, but not much. Well, thankfully it's not looking too bad here. I'll take a wander around the other side, but it's actually looking a lot better than I was fearing. Is there a shot there? I kind of like that little island there that's kind of standing out a little bit from the darker background. There's next to no light at all though, so it's not going to be a dramatic shot. We could use a little bit of light on the island, but yeah, I quite like that. Simple. These trees in the foreground kind of frame the shot up, and then you have the island in the background, and then the more distant trees, and you've got a reasonably nice reflection as well. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it a day for the loching, and I'm going to head back and see if I can grab some shots of these felled trees where the storm has taken them down. I think there might be a couple of images in there, kind of bleak, probably black and white, very dark, quite moody. So I'm going to do that now. Let's go. As I left the loch in there, past a couple swimming in it. It's freezing. What are you doing? So we're at the little path that I'm going to take. If you've seen one of my earlier videos from this location, this leads you up to the stairs that I shot in an earlier video. I'll put a link up just here. Those are the stairs that I shot in that previous video. This is incredible. The devastation's unbelievable. Look at this. I think I'm going to use this fallen tree here as a leading line. Beautiful but terrifying as well, the power of nature. Can you even begin to imagine the force that something would need to lift that tree and all that earth from the ground? And it's all the way along, look, there's a line of them. It's bleak. It's very bleak, but I'm glad I came up to shoot this, because I'm sure the Forestry Commission will have this cleared in a couple of weeks. So I'm glad I came up and recorded. That's one of these, I've often said, look, you know, if you come to a location that you're very familiar with, then what you should do is concentrate on what's unique on that particular visit. I mean, I've been here, I don't know, countless times, well into double figures anyway, and not that I can't count any double figures, but you know what, yeah, I've been up here many times, and I've shot it in pretty much all conditions, summer, spring, autumn and winter, but I have never seen it like this before. So that's what you've got to concentrate, isn't it? You've got to capture the uniqueness about today's visit, and the devastation in these trees is incredible. I know I keep it's awesome, it's inspiring, it's terrifying, but it really is. So I'm going to take this opportunity to try and capture some of that devastation. I doubt very much whether we're going to be able to classify this as art, but I think it needs documented, so I'm here, so I'm doing it. Of course, if we had any philosophers watching the channel, you could explain to us if there was no one in the forest when these fell, did they make a sound? Got to say, I've spent many hours in this forest, and it is absolutely heartbreaking to see it like this. I know it's nature, I know it's the way of the world, isn't it? But it's quite difficult to see. I just stopped, had a conversation with a couple of local women who were doing the same as me, out assessing the damage, and we just had a chat about how sad it is. I mean, you know, it's nature, isn't it? But still, in case anybody's wondering, when I get back to the car park, I am actually going to go and check on the favourite tree of mine, the one that I did that, you know, one of my favourite trees video. I'll link that up there. I'm going to go and check on it because it was getting old, and with this amount of devastation in the forest, there's no guarantee it made it. It's a weird feeling. The air's heavy with pine, scent of pine, and somewhere in the not too far distance, someone's burning wood. And that, in normal times, is one of my favourite smells. You know, wood or peat fire, but kind of bittersweet today. Look at this. I love how this little bit of mossy land just seems to be glowing compared to everything else. I think there's a shot there, don't you? Right, so I'm very near to where one of my favourite trees is. So I'm just going to pop over and see that it survived the recent storm. Fingers crossed. It's there. It's still there. Ending on a bit of good news. Hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's a wee bit less cheery than usual, but give us a little thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll try and make things a little bit brighter for the next one. Maybe. Cheers, bye.